Ghana's Black Galaxies are all the way out there in Algeria. The chant begins on the 13th. Ghana's first game was on the 15th. We've been playing some friendly matches. We played the local Algerian side there in the tournament as well, trying to see our level of sharpness so far. That game ended in a draw, so nobody winning that game. You have an idea of the groups over there for the competition itself. So Group A, you have Algeria, the home side, Libya, Ethiopia, and Mozambique. You have Group B, has DR Congo, Uganda, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal. Group C has Morocco, Sudan, Madagascar, and Ghana. So very difficult group. The Ghana's first game is against Madagascar. You have Group D, which has Mali, Angola, and Mauritania. And then Group E has Cameroon, Congo, and Niger. So very interesting group for Ghana's Black Galaxies there. Nothing is given. Susu, let me take your thoughts on this group. So we've been preparing in Egypt for a bit. We played out that friendly match with the local Algerian side, drew that game. Anawaka seems positive. He says that he's been given literally every reason to succeed in this tournament with the kind of preparation he's got. We have some experienced players in there. What are your expectations ahead of this one, looking at the group we find ourselves in?
I think the best barometer to use for the channel is to look at how the teams perform in Africa. So how the Moroccan teams perform, because those are the players who are playing in the CAF competitions and who will be called up for this. Because it's not like they are going to bring their all-stars. They can't bring all their players from wherever. And we see what Moroccan teams have been doing in CAF competitions. So that's easy. They are favorites. That's the hardest game of the competition. It's clear. Sudan, we see their teams here and there. Some of their teams are good, some are not so good.
These teams give Ghanaians a beating most of the time.
But we definitely usually struggle when we tend to go there. But I guess that's now we have a chance to more the sum of the parts. It's not an individual team. So you can see that maybe it's be able to raise our level in there. But in the same way, they can do so. But when I look at some of the players we have in our Chan team, and we can see their trajectory. We saw someone like Barnier when he played in our World Cup, a World Cup friendly, This is a very quality player. Maybe with better players around him, we can see more of his star power and can do something for us. So I think when we look at the team, I would say the Morocco match, we should hope for the best. But I think when I look at Sudan and Madagascar, we should be able to at least beat Madagascar at the very least. Because with all due respect, if you look at the Malagasy national team, all their players are coming from France. They barely have any local players in their national team. And their national team is not a national team that bothers the Ghanaian national team. So when I look at some of these things, it gives me an indicator that we shouldn't be too concerned. Now, how often do you hear of Malagasy sides doing big things in Africa? It's not something you hear. So when I look at it, it's almost like it's between us and Sudan for second place in that group. So that's where I believe the group we won. I believe we should be able to beat Madagascar. I don't expect us to beat Morocco. If we get a draw, that's great. But we have to beat Sudan. I think that's where the group will be won or lost, from what I see.
Okay, so look, like you rightly said, they've been given everything to go out there and succeed. For once, you want to applaud the FA for the level of preparation. This is one of the best I have seen in a very, very long time. But having said that, I think we should play to our strength. And the strength of this team, in my view, is not the playing body. It's the technical team. That to me is the strength of the team. So I expect Anawaka and Prosper in particular to get these boys to accept whatever they are telling them to go and do. If the boys can accept that, then that means we are playing to our strength. And tactically, I think Anawaka is very experienced. Prosper Ogumtu is very experienced that they can coach the boys while the game are ongoing. I'm very happy we are playing Madagascar first because they tend to be the weakest team in the group. Anything apart from 3 points against them, then we are in big, big trouble. So we need to find a way of winning that first game. Once we do, I think our next game too is against Sudan. And Morocco is the last one. We should ensure that by the time we get to face Morocco,
6 points.
Qualification should have been wrapped up. We should have our destiny in our hands, setting to progress to the next round of the tournament. I expect a lot from players like Glass and Awako. He should be given the license to coach this team whilst they are playing on the pitch. Because he's the most experienced.
Remember, he's won a major tournament before as well.
Of course, on the continent. So
under 20s with Andrea Yu and Samuel Lincoln, Daniel Opari.
Exactly. And even when he got his shot at the Champions League with TP Mazembe.
Yep.
He was very, very influential. And with this team, it's like when he plays or when he does so well, that is when the team tend to what? Be very, very effective going forward in particular. My only worry with the team again is the defensive pair. I saw glimpses of the game against Algeria. Truth be told, we gave some chances away which we shouldn't because of the lack of the proper chemistry between the two centre backs. Our preferred pair has been broken. Thanks to the people at Accra House of Oak. They just couldn't find a way of sorting out the problem between the team and Mo Alassane. And Mo Alassane, who, again, defensively, was the most experienced of them all because he had played under Coach Maxwell Konedu in the Wafu tournament and Galaxies and all that. So he's by far our best centre back. And because he couldn't sort out the issue with House of Oak, he's more or less clubless. I don't know where he is at the moment. So that, in my view, is a headache because we will need a solid backline to progress in this tournament. Anything of not being so sure, being very uncertain at the back, is going to worry us. And I'm sure that the coaches will look at the game against Algeria yesterday and begin to clearly identify that as a major problem of this team that needs solving before we begin to play our first game against Madagascar on the 15th. But everything said and done, I expect them to at least, minimum, they have to get to the quarterfinals of the tournament. No two ways about that. Because anytime we've been at the CHAN, we've not disgraced ourselves at all. I think the first time
we've been to two finals. I believe.
We've been to two finals. The first time the tournament was organized, and then when we went to South Africa with Coach Maxwell Konedu. So we are going back again after having been absent for the past 3 editions. We want to go out there and leave a landmark, and I think this tournament will point to us to the fact of where our league is. Yes, I agree. We've picked the best player from Kotoko, the best player from House of Oak, Olympics. And that, as a group, may look very strong as a unit as compared to our league standard itself. But take it or leave it. It is a tournament that is going to showcase to us where we are as a nation concerning our local league and how we need to go about things in order to go and compete. Because Sasu here makes a very brilliant point. The Moroccan national team is not going to struggle for players, isn't it?
Nope.
And it will be shocking to me if they don't pick the best of their club side dominating the continent of Africa. The Egyptians will pick from El Ali, Zamalek, and co.
Strong league.
Strong league. And for me, look, this tournament is going to be a very, very good tournament in terms of the last tournament. Did you see the quality of the football? Absolutely top-notch. And this is a platform for players to showcase them. That is why, again, I'm very, very disappointed that I'm not going to be seeing Caleb Amankwa, the House of Oak boy, in this tournament, because I think he would have showcased himself to present a better contract to go and ply his trade elsewhere in the game. We wish the team all the best. They have to save Keto Kreku. I have to say this. In every major tournament he's taken our national team to, senior national team, we've chopped last. They cannot be last. They have to do everything practically possible. That this, in my view, is Keto Kreku last tournament as FA president. He cannot chop last. He needs to get this team to at least to the quarterfinals so that at least we can build on from there.